Quick update on the hydroponics. They've been doing really well. We got a number of strawberries. We ate a few of them. They taste really good. We've got a few of them. I'll show a picture here. You may be able to see that there are strawberries turning red over there. We're pretty pleased with how well the hydroponics works with the strawberries. And not too long ago, I looked out the window and the ground was damp all over underneath it. I came down and looked, and the reservoir was empty. And I pulled up a couple of the plant, carriers, and they were empty too. And I couldn't figure out what happened. So I ended up kind of taking things apart and checking flow. I put water in and it started flowing, and I really didn't know what for sure happened. So I spent a little bit of time monkeying around with the 1-to-4 splitter. But I didn't really think that was the problem. But I couldn't identify what the problem was. Well, in all of that, while I was messing with it all and checking the flow, one of them, the one that's closest up here, started making a lot of water noise. And I opened it, and it was absolutely full. Actually, I looked at it, and I could see everything was floating in there. It was absolutely full. And in monkeying around with it, I discovered that the drain that equalizes the level of them all had plugged up. So the water from the pump just kept pumping this one full. I didn't open that one. I opened 2 other ones, but I didn't open that one. And so what I theorize happened, and based on kind of the pattern of the water that was on the ground, is the pump just kept pumping that one, and it was overflowing. And then once the pump ran out of water, it had drained the other 3 and the reservoir. So it just wouldn't go anymore. And there it sat. To clean that up, I took a long hose and I pushed it down into the return water on the reservoir and then blew into it real hard. And that kind of blew everything out. Probably not the best way to do it, but I did it. And then I let it run for a while, and there was debris in the bottom of the reservoir, so I vacuumed that out with a siphon. And it's been working really well ever since. The pH is really hard to control. I'll add pH up to it, and it'll bring the pH up a little bit, but then the next day it'll be right back down. I guess the water doesn't have a lot of buffering. I don't completely understand the chemistry surrounding that, but it's really hard to keep the pH up, but they're happy. So it's kind of hard to complain that, we've got nice fruits in them. We've got good tasting fruit. All the plants are healthy. There's one other, I think I mentioned this before, maybe not, that one of these plants had a runner on it. And I had run the runner around and it kind of stuck it back down into the water flow, and it was taking root. And then I discovered or was told that it's not real good to have runners. They take energy away from the plant. So I cut that off and I planted it in the soil. I rinsed it, well, I didn't have to rinse it off, but I buried it in the soil, and then I watered it really heavily with some of the nutrients that it's used to. And it's doing real well. Let's go take a look at that. When I first planted this, it was really just this and these leaves down here. Since then, this one has grown up, and we've got a new set of leaves starting down here. One of the reasons I wanted to try this test is this winter I'm not sure what to do with the hydro, and one of the things that I could do is let them go dormant and then plant them in soil and let them go over the summer in the soil, or I'm sorry, over the winter in the soil. And this is a good test to see how well that works. I've heard that going from soil to hydroponics, it's a lot easier than going from hydroponics to soil. So we'll see how that goes. I got a pretty good looking strawberry right here. It's nice big strawberry. You know, they're doing pretty well. These are the ones I was pointing at before. This one's just started blushing or turning colors. That's a good looking one. This one is turning. I thought I had some up in the plants, but it doesn't really look like it. But, oh, there's one. That's the one I was thinking of. See him back there? So it's kind of hard to complain about how well this is working. This plant is really happy. This one is the least happy, but it's making berries, so that's good. So that's about it for the hydroponic garden. Pretty fun project, pretty happy with how they're going. I think now that I kind of understand how this all functions, I think I might do something a little different sometime. But I've learned what I wanted to learn, and it's not all that hard. Chemistry is kind of a pain, but it's not all that hard. Like, one of the things I would like to do is the strawberries kind of hang out of the bucket, and that's hard on their stems. Like, one of the stems is folding right here, so it's not doing real well. I need to get something to hold this up so they're not hanging over, like in this particular plant's case. And that's kind of a design thing that I want to try to work on. So, quick update. Thanks for watching.